Is the executive director of the U.S. Campaign for Palestinian Rights. That's a Washington-based coalition of organizations that oppose Israel's policies towards Palestinians. He joins us now from Alexandria, Virginia. Yousef Munayyer, we were hearing there from the Palestinian envoy to the UN. He is expecting an open session of the UN Security Council if needs be, and he wants strong condemnation. What are the chances he gets what he wants?
Well, the chances that he gets what he wants are probably slim, given the position that the United States is likely to take to ensure that, despite what is likely to be a broad agreement from the remainder of the international community, that the Israeli position ends up carrying the day for the most part. That's, of course, what we have seen historically. I think, of course, that would be a tragedy given the gravity of the events on the ground, but also the importance of this moment and the message that the international community can send to Palestinians that they are supporting their nonviolent resistance today. You know, for years, Palestinians have heard that they should not be using armed resistance, that they should abandon violence. And yet when they turn out and they protest in a really well-organized and massive way, in an overwhelmingly nonviolent way, I have to say I was struck by the degree of coordination and real restraint by Palestinians who, despite watching many of their fellow protesters being shot and killed today, remained overwhelmingly nonviolent in the face of that. The international community must send a message to Palestinians today that they stand in solidarity with them. If they don't, then unfortunately the message that Palestinians will get from the international community is that all forms of resistance to Israeli oppression are unacceptable. And I think that is a recipe for disaster.
Okay, staying with that idea of how well the event today or the events today were organized, do you see where the Israelis are coming from? Because they're saying it was organized, in effect, this is what Israel is saying, it was organized by Hamas, and there was a cell of Hamas operating, in effect, inside what we were seeing today, and that was why it turned nasty, and that was why people died.
Look, the videos are there for everybody to see. This was an extremely well-covered event. There are countless videos on social media right now where you can go and see Palestinian protesters being shot at by Israeli forces, some of them while they were in the process of prostration and prayer on the ground in Gaza, some of them while they were just walking by the fence. You know, this idea that there was some violent activity going on, and that's the reason why the Israelis shot 400 people. 400 people were shot by live fire today in the course of these protests. You know, that's just absurd. The Israelis do not know how to handle nonviolent dissent. And it's because of that in the lead up to this, they were smearing this event and attempting beforehand to create the impression that there was going to be some sort of massive orchestrated violence so that they could justify sending 100 snipers down to the border there with orders to fire at Palestinian demonstrators. I think, you know, the best proof is for people to look at the videos of what took place today and the images, and the truth is right there for everybody to see.
Okay, Yousef Munayyer there in Alexandria, Virginia. Thank you. We move on.